Good evening. It's a nice evening here in Missouri. All right, I'm going to tell you a story about my dad when I was growing up. Okay, my dad's schizophrenia was schizoaffective. Didn't get it until he was 29, and the activation was the flood, the 1965 flood in Denver, what we went through. Okay, so one year when I was about, I'm saying probably 13, 14, me and my friend want to go ice skating. Okay, well, it was about a 30-minute drive. We didn't have our driver's license yet. So I asked my dad if he would take us, and he said, yeah, he would. Okay, well, we still had some time to wait. So he went into the bedroom, and he started playing the record player. And back then, you had a stereo that had speakers that you could take off the stereo and put them in other parts of the room. Okay, so it got time for me to ask him to take us, and I knocked on the door, and I'm opening the door, and me and my girlfriend, we see, oh, it was funny. My dad had each speaker on both sides of his ears, and he was blasting the music, singing to the top of his lungs. And of course, my friend and I thought he'd done lost it. But of course, I closed the door, and her and I were looking at each other like, oh God, are we even going to get to go ice skating? Well, we did. He came out of the bedroom and he says, all right, girls, let's go take you ice skating. So even though my dad was schizophrenic, he still did the dad things. And also, my dad was never diagnosed until he was in his 60s. And he also never took medication. He dealt with his schizophrenia on his own. And I think he had life skills. Okay? Part of that was because he had graduated from high school. He had already been in the Marines. He was an MP in the Marines. He was a pipe fitter and welder. And so he worked for a living. And so my dad dealt with his schizophrenia on his own. He never took medication. Now my son, he does take medication. Well, I'll talk to you next time. Have a good evening.